Salesforce is a platform that connects and aligns businesses with their customers' needs and satisfaction. Okay, before starting and jumping into the Salesforce session, uh, as a culture suggests that we highly value the backing provided by our customers, partners, investors, and recognize that their confidence in our enterprise is integral to all our operations. We are grateful for the opportunity to meet with you today, acknowledging that time is precious and we truly value the chance to connect. We extend our gratitude to Manipal University faculty and Deepika ma'am for their valuable contribution towards this endeavor and their presence today, as well as the many others who played a part in facilitating this connection. So, welcome to Salesforce. We believe in putting our customers first. Since our founding in 1999, we have been revolutionizing the industry to help our customers meet the evolving needs of their customers. Salesforce is actually a B2B software which actually started this no software regime and created cloud-based applications or cloudwares. For the past 24 years, we have been at the forefront of innovation, constantly pushing the boundaries of what is possible. We understand that business are facing ever increasing demands and we are committed to providing solutions that help them stay ahead of the curve. At Salesforce, we believe that businesses have a responsibility to give back to their communities as well. That's why we were the first to embed philanthropic efforts into business, 1% of our time and 1% of the product to the non-profit organizations. We were also the first enterprise software company to pioneer a subscription-based business model that aligns a customer's success with our success. This approach ensures that we are fully invested in our customers' success and that they receive the best possible value from our products and services. Finally, we were the first to put business software in the cloud, recognizing that the cloud technology provides unparalleled flexibility, scalability, and cost effectiveness. We continue to innovate in this area, providing our customers with cutting edge solutions that allow them to be more agile and respond than ever before. At Salesforce, we are more than just a technology company. We are a customer company committed to helping our customers succeed in an ever changing world. Moving ahead to the core values of Salesforce. So each and every company is built upon these core values, that's for sure. But I have been working in Salesforce for like last 1.5 year, and I have felt that it's not just written over here. It is actually what I feel inside the company itself. As a customer company, we are dedicated to empowering our customers to succeed and build tied to our customer success, which is why we operate under these five core values, which is trust. We believe that trust is the foundation of all relationships, and we strive to earn and maintain the trust of our customers through transparency, accountability, and the integrity. Customer success is the second core value, which aims at our customers' success is our top priority, and we are committed to providing solutions that help them achieve their goals and meet the evolving needs of their customers. Innovation. Obviously, it's a technical company, and every technology company needs innovation over the time. We are constantly pushing the boundaries of what is possible, using cutting edge technologies and innovative solutions to drive growth and create new opportunities for our customers. Recently, Salesforce has also launched a data cloud product, which, for example, if a company called Mahindra and Mahindra, who sells Thar, I hope Thar is very famous among all of us. So, for example, you purchase the Thar and you went to the Mahindra and Mahindra company, you wanted the sales team to meet you. So there's always a software called Salesforce software, which sales team will be using. Then we have this service oriented product, which is Salesforce service product. Whenever you are actually going to a service station for that Thar to be get serviced, you will automatically be redirected to the sales team, and then the sales team and the service team will take in charge of the service station and your particular car service. So that is how this data cloud has many cloud products which will be gathered in a single place, and you know a single stream for all the data, where we perform AI transformations and algorithms, and that's all on the cloud. So that's just a highlight of the innovation. Then we have equality. We believe that everyone deserves an equal opportunity to succeed, and we are committed to creating a diverse and inclusive environment where everyone can thrive. Sustainability, that's for sure. So we understand the importance of protecting our planet and preserving its resources for future generations. We have set ambitious sustainability goals, including achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 and powering our global operations with 100% renewable energy. Let's move to the other cloud, which is Salesforce Customer 360. We just discussed that we have sales product, service product, marketing product, commerce cloud, Tableau cloud, MuleSoft cloud, platform and data. Slack is another child company of Salesforce. And then we have multiple clouds. So, for example, you have these success-based clouds present over here, which is professional services. We have trailblazers, trailheads for the newcomers to learn Salesforce. We have App Exchange, which is a place like App Store or Play Store, where we have multiple applications which can be embedded or which can be integrated in the Salesforce cloud itself. And then we have different automotives, like different industries which we are targeting, which is automotive, education, health and healthcare and life sciences, non-profit and everything. Third, I'm sorry. Third is the platform. So we have multiple platforms. One of them is data cloud, which we just discussed. We have automations, robotics process automations. We have DevOps. We have Einstein AI as well, which is artificial intelligence algorithm practicing platform. I hope I'm not too fast. And if there's anything which you would like to question me on, please raise your hands.
So, Ayush, can we have a question and answer session at the end of the session?
Yeah, definitely. But
Yeah.
I would suggest if there's anything else in the hands-on, please go ahead and
Okay.
disturb me in
Okay.
between.
Okay. So, in between, if any of the participant want to ask any of the question from the speaker, they can may please raise your hands.
Okay. So now when we know what Salesforce is, let's jump on to the hands-on. So we have this Manipal University welcome page, which I was actually preparing before coming to Manipal University. So thus, just to give you a brief about how can we create a home page, which is a welcoming home page. So I'll just take you to my Salesforce org and let's edit the page. I hope my screen is visible to you. Okay. So this is actually Lightning App Builder. This is Salesforce. Salesforce is a cloud, and that is the reason it is in a form of a website. It's not a web application. It's not any software. It's just a simple website which will hold everything, every data that you have. So imagine for an example, we have Excel sheet. So we have this Excel sheet which is a table, and then we have multiple rows and multiple columns. Those are actually the fields, the attribute of Excel sheet. Those are attributes of Salesforce as well. Salesforce is a relational database, and that is the reason why we can use SQL, which is a relational query language, and also that we can do multiple lookups, which we used to do in Excel. But now, when the country has and the world has moved ahead of Excels, we don't have Excels at any particular company. So let's just create a home page over here, and so these are standard ways of writing something on Salesforce. These are actually dependent on different data types. For example, if I have to post a flow over here, I will get a flow option over here. If I have something like chatters, I have chatter public publishers and chatter feeds. If I have something like custom components, which you see over here, simple calculator, that is a custom component which we create. So we can move on to that on a later part. But let's create a simple home page. For that, I'll select. Okay, so which one? Let's select this one. Now I want this. Just take it over here and drag it and drop it. Right. I have this over here. And over that, so just save it and let's activate this. Where is that? Okay, I need to assign it to Sales Console. Okay, now you see this page. This is a home page welcoming Manipal University with a welcoming page as well with a image, and that's how you can create a home page. Let me give you a brief on the Sales Console as well. Not this one, the Service Console. Okay, so this is how we design in a project how homepage looks like, because we may need different things which are to dos for the day. So we can have this quarterly performance, assistance, tasks, deals, records, and events for today. That way, we also create a welcoming page, which is this Hi Manipal University. How are you today? So that's one thing. If there's any confusion until now, please let me know. I'll stop here for a minute. Anyone? No questions? A silent group? Cool. I'll move ahead then. Uh, so we have objects and fields. I was actually on that assumption that please assume we have an Excel sheet that Excel sheet is actually an object in Salesforce. Now, if I talk about fields, you have columns in Excel sheet. Those are fields in Salesforce. We have standard objects, just like account, contact, case, opportunities. These are a standard object which every business require. So that is the reason Salesforce has already made them standards. But according to the business, we can also create custom objects, right? Similarly, we have standard fields which are required by a lot of businesses, common fields. Those are actually standard fields. But according to the business operations, we can also create a custom fields. Let's get to know how to create a custom object and standard and custom fields. I'll move on to my sales cloud, and then let's jump onto the setup. That's very easy. It's just clicking and doing your stuff. So if you have to create a custom object, we will click on create custom object, and here I'll give it a name like maybe university. I'll give a plural name as universities, and these are optional features. I would like to allow the reports, activities, field history, everything around this object, so I can check this up. But if I don't have to. This is deployment status. If it's in development, we cannot see the object. If it's deployed, we can see the object. After creating the object, what we have to do, we wanted to see the object. And for that, we will create a custom tab. So I'll click on this and I'll save. So once this object is created, I have this tab. I'll select the tab style and let's select books. I can also give a description that let's next, then next. Okay, so here is our custom object, which is university. So every time you want to check if object in Salesforce is standard or custom, you can find this underscore c, double underscore c, at the end of the API name, which denotes that this particular object is a custom object. Just give me a minute. Is my screen visible? I'm sorry, I don't think it's. Is it? Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir, it is visible. It got confused.
Okay.
अच्छा अच्छा नहीं हो रही नहीं.
Is it now?
Yes, Ayush, your screen is visible.
Okay. Cool. So where was I? Okay, I was at the custom object, and we created a custom object like this. Now, what if I want to create custom fields? For example, we have standard fields over here. Those are 4 standard fields which you will get at any custom object which you create, which is created by ID, last modified by ID, owner ID, and the name of the university. So this university name is a text field, but rest of them are a lookup. What does that mean? So a lookup is actually something, for example, if I have created a particular record in Excel sheet, that way a record should be known that this person has been creating this record. So if I have created a record, owner ID will be marked as Ayush Bhargav. If I have created it, created by ID will also be Ayush Bhargav. And if someone else, for example, maybe Deepika ma'am modifies it, then the last modified by ID will be Deepika ma'am. So now if I want to create multiple more features in this particular object, how would I create it? Just like we have data types in programming language, we have data types here as well. You go at new and you will find a list of data types over. There are a lot of data types. Even I get confused a couple of times. So we have auto number field, we have formula field, we have lookup relationships, which will relate or which will create a one-on-one relationship between two sheets, for example. We have checkbox, currency, date time, email, geolocation, everything. So for example, I want to create a pick list. And I'll name it as maybe Bix and flat. Okay, these subjects are enough. Uh, let's go to next. Next and save and new. I want to create another field which is student's phone number. So I'll select the phone data type. I'll add student phone. Okay, it is created. Now let me just quickly refresh my page. And we have this university's object created. Now let's just quickly create a record over here. And you'll find that we have just created subject field and student phone. This subject field was a pick list, which is a drop down. So we call drop down pick list over here. You'll find the assigned values of Manipal University, and I want only DSA to be learned from Manipal University. And I'll give some phone and then I'll save it. It is that easy. You see, we have this owner ID which we talked about. I have created this record, so the owner will be me. I have created this record, that is why we have created by ID also by Ayush Bhargav. And the last modified record was by me itself. So we have Ayush Bhargav at the last modified number also. So we have these standard fields and custom fields. We can create multiple functionalities using multiple data types at Salesforce itself. So I'll stop here for a second or for a minute if we have any questions.
Do we have any questions till now? Participants can raise their hands. Any questions till now from the participants? No questions, Ayush. You may continue.
That's a very silent group I've ever been to.
Maybe they are collecting their questions and we'll
Yeah.
ask at the end.
Yeah, they'll drop a bomb at the end.
Maybe.
Okay. The another fantastic feature of Salesforce is automation tools. So moving ahead with this particular thing, I would like you to remind about robotics process automation we have learned in college times. So that was a subject which I used to love a lot, and later on I got to use it in my industry as well. So on the robotics process automation, we have these automation tools present in Salesforce as well. We have multiple types of automation tools working with different capacities. We have workflow rules, process builders, flows, apex triggers, approval processes, lightning process builders, and scheduled actions. If anyone wants to know what is it about, I think I have written the appropriate. I will read it for you as well because that's a less time. So with workflow rules, you can set up rules based on record creation or modification and specify actions like field updates, email notifications, and outbound messages. You must have registered for a course in your lifetime and may have received emails and messages at 12 p.m. or at 12 a.m. So, do you think there's someone setting or pushing those emails or messages to you at that time? That's not possible. That's the CRM which does the thing for them. We have Process Builder as well, which got deprecated in the previous versions, but I have mentioned here because it's quite necessary for everyone to know. Let's look at the most powerful automation tool of Salesforce, which is flows. So everything which any automation tool can provide, flows can provide that. Whatever you can think of doing from a programming language, flows can do that. Flows enables you to build guided business processes with a visual interface by automating complex sequences of tasks and interactions. Obviously, cloud is about interacting with the data and putting your data not into your system. So it allows you to collect the data, make decisions, and perform various actions based on user input or system events. I have also created a flow for you guys, and let's jump onto the flow to know more about it. So for flow, I'll go into the setup. I'll go at home and quick find. I'll type flow. These are process automations. We have workflow and every type of automation tools present over here, but majorly now Salesforce is using flows because that's the only undeprecated automation tool which allows you every functionality. So remember, if you're trying to change your or switch your career into Salesforce, flow is the only thing which you need to learn. So let's look at a flow which I created. I'll show you how does it work. And let's okay. So we have a standard object called accounts. I want to create a record from account, and I also want to create an opportunity record from account object itself. But as you know, I have been doing it going to the new and clicking on the new and then creating a record. For opportunity record, I have to do the same. I have to go to the opportunities tab, click on new, and then create a record. But now let's just go to the Manipal University account. And now I want to create an opportunity record. So here I have created a flow. Now I want an opportunity to be attached to an account. So what I'll do is that I'll provide an opportunity name. For example, Manipal University may have an opportunity like Salesforce Sales Cloud. And the closing date they would might want would be 25th May. And now this opportunity is at a stage of maybe negotiation and review. And I'll click next. So you see, nothing just happened. We are still on accounts. But when I go to the opportunities, I have the Salesforce Sales Club. That is how any robotics process automation works. That is an event triggered automation. And I'll just make you look at how I created this. So I started a screen flow. I wanted a screen, and then I went into the opportunities. I created new. I looked at three fields: opportunity name, close date, and stage. All of them are required fields. So in order to create any opportunity, I would want all of these three fields to be filled at least. Otherwise, it would throw me an error if I want to save it. So what I did was I provided an opportunity name and close date at first screen. And let's look at this. We have this label and the API name, and this particular field is required. We went to the close date as well. We have this data type as date, which I took from here, date. And then we have this label close date and API name as close date. This is also a required field because we need this field in order to create an opportunity record. So that's one screen. Now moving on to the other screen. So once a user has filled the data into this first screen, he'll move on to the second screen. In this particular screen, I have created this picklist field, which is using a component called picklist, which is my user defined component. So I have this picklist component and it has all the values which an opportunity would might provide. So if I go over here, I go to the details page, I want to look at stage. We have all of these values which a user can select from, right? So in order to get all of these values, I created this staging pick list and I provided stage. This is how we write in Salesforce. We have this pick list choice set. So I provided it a pick list choice set and I saved it. Then there's another functionality which is select elements. So you, not this one. Yeah. So we can actually get records, create records, update records, and delete records, which is CURD operation. You must have heard of it, CURD, which is create, update, read, and delete. So these are the operations which are supported by Flow Automation tool. So if I want to create a record out of the data which I've filled, I want only a single record to be created. I have been using different choice sets for picklist. So I want to use separate resources and literal values. I wanted to select opportunity to create a record on this particular object. Otherwise, you can select any. For example, if I want maybe contact object, and we have contact as well. But right now I want opportunity, so that's opportunity. We'll select the fields from here, which is opportunity name, and we have this opportunity name text value. We want close date. We have this close date value, and then we want what is that, stage. We have the pick list selected over here. I'll just simply done this. I'll save it. That's already saved and activated. And I'll go back. Now I want to create a new account, which is maybe Salesforce itself. Let's save it. Now from this Salesforce, I went to the related page of account Salesforce and I want to test it. So let's give it SF test 1 as name 23rd May as the close date, and closed 1 is the stage which we are on at. And then next, I'll go back to the opportunities, and then SF test 1 is created. Okay. Any questions until now on this robotics process automation thing? If not, I'll move ahead.
Participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. So, Ayush, we have one question from Dr. Rashmi.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you may please ask your question. Please unmute your mic. Rashmi, ma'am, you can please unmute your mic and ask the question. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Do you
Hello.
have any question?
Sir, what is the maximum flow in Salesforce, sir?
Maximum number of flows which we can create.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we don't have any limit for that, but it is actually suggested that we create less of flows, because otherwise it will actually automate every process and it will create multiple dependencies. So for a single object, we usually prefer only a single flow, which will do which will have multiple versions of it. So for example, I'm creating a flow on opportunity. I would only create a single flow. That's a good question, actually. I would actually create only a single flow, and that would have multiple versions. I can show you how versions can be created.
So when there is a no limit, then how can a trigger can call a batch class, sir? There should be some limit for the flows, no, sir. Individual for individual when they are using the clouds and all.
Uh, can you please repeat your question?
Sir, when there is a no limit, a single flow is there, a limit should be there for that. So then how can a trigger can call a batch class so that the cloud will be accessed in a proper way, sir?
Okay, that's a good question. We have even if you look at flows, we have multiple flows. We have multiple data type of flows. You see this process type. It is one of them is Salesforce scheduler flow. The
Yes,
other
sir.
one is a sprint flow. The other one is auto launched flow. So when we are talking about Apex, which is a backend language for
Yes,
Salesforce,
sir.
so Salesforce can trigger processes at Apex, and then we have this process which will actually import the wrapper class of Apex and will process everything which is passed to the Apex class, right?
Okay.
Every functionality present in Apex class can be done once this triggered flow is triggered. So
Okay.
even at Apex, we get the data from flows itself.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. One more question I already typed in chat, sir.
Okay, let's look at it. Okay, how can we start Salesforce
No,
practice
sir.
for our students in college? Sir, I would recommend that. I have been into multiple universities, and they have actually conducted some seminars for Salesforce first. And there are teachers who know Salesforce or have their domain converted into Salesforce, because it's one of the hottest branch in IT right now. Uh, but yeah, in Salesforce, we don't have any certain package. We do have Trailhead. So this particular platform is actually associated towards learning Salesforce, right? We have this credentials learn. We have trails, trail mixes, trailhead academies. We have modules. So if I want you to look at the modules, maybe look at Sales Cloud. This one. Okay, so these are the articles, videos, and hands-on as well on Salesforce, which is Sales Blazer. So, for example, we have a product called Sales, and someone from Manipal University wants to get enabled on the Sales Cloud platform. So, Sales Blazer is a platform which he would use in order to learn first and then do some hands-on on that. For that, you need to join for free and create your initial org for free, and that's how I started learning Salesforce. Does that answer your question, ma'am? Do we have
Any
any
more
other?
questions we have from the participants? They may raise your hands. Uh, shall the speaker move ahead? Okay, I guess Aayush, you may continue. We'll take more questions in between if needed.
Yeah. Okay, so until now we have talked about Salesforce features and Salesforce functionalities. Even one of the question brought up a question of backend development as well, which is Apex. So yeah, moving ahead on that, we have front end and back end development on Salesforce. So on Salesforce platform, we have been using Apex language, which helps you to connect or establish connections with the backend. And for front end, we have this Lightning Web component, which is a part of Web 2.0. We are working towards Web 3.0 as well. But for now, we have this Lightning Web component, which is a front end development. For this front end development, LWC is a framework or a library provided by Salesforce for building modern, JavaScript or HTML pages. So we have web standards like JavaScript and HTML, making it easier for the developers to build Lightning component using familiar programming languages and concepts. Even JavaScript is a dynamic language and it has many flavors like TypeScript and stuff and everything. So initially we saw this particular simple calculator uh, component. So like we see over here in opportunities, we have these components created by Salesforce only. But Salesforce provides us the power to create our own components in Salesforce using LWC. So when I look at this component, this is completely a custom component, which is created by the code, and it has nothing to do with the Salesforce admin functionalities. So if I look at it, it's a simple calculator. If I put 10 value over here, 10 value over here, I want that two values to be added. So I'll add this, I'll subtract it, I'll multiply it, and I'll divide it, right? Now I want to see the previous results. So this is a checkbox which we created. Show previous history. Now what if someone has a long history? For example, I want to add, subtract, multiply, divide, add, subtract, multiply, divide, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Now this array or data structure is filled now, right? Now what if we want to clear the history and allow the more values to incorporate in our data structure? So we have this clear history button over here, which will pop the element from the above, right? So first we added these and we had the result of this. So this is index 1, this is index 2, this is third index, and this is fourth index. I want to pop the element of first and not the last one. So I'll just clear history, and it just popped out the first element, right? The more I press it, every time it is gonna, it is, so for example, this is index number 1 right now, and this is index number 2. When I click on clear history, it gets popped up and index number 1 is assigned to this. So once again, if you click on clear history, you'll get both of these disappeared. See, what if we want to reset the calculator overall? So when I push this button, I will have no values in the input boxes or in the output box as well. You see, so these are some custom components which we can create through JavaScript and LWC uh, to actually enhance the features of Salesforce. We can also accommodate Salesforce features into our components, because for that they provide us LWC library. Let's have a quick look in simple calculator. I hope if I start with coding, there won't be an issue, right? Cool. So for a custom component, we have particularly 3 files. One is an HTML file, the other one is a JavaScript file, and then the third one is an XML file. So HTML will actually hold everything which I can see over here in my component right now. You see this writing, this page, these buttons, everything is present in Salesforce. Is present in HTML, I'm sorry. And the functionalities behind those buttons are coded in JavaScript. Now, what does XML do the work over here? So XML over here works on the target areas to define the target areas. For example, I have created a custom component, and now I want that custom component at multiple locations in Salesforce. What I do is that I'll provide the targets over here. For example, this is Lightning app page, Lightning home page, and Lightning record page. So I want this particular component to be present at different targets, and I want to define my targets, and that's what I do on XML. I hope XML is understood, right? Cool. On HTML, we have this Lightning card library which holds a lot of components. This Salesforce button as well, which we just saw, we have a whole button group over here which provides us the functionality to create multiple buttons in a single line. So if you see this add, subtract, multiply, and divide, we have those in a single line. I'll just simply show it to you again. So you see those, we have used Lightning button group and a single button for add, subtract, multiply, and divide. But eventually they are tied up in a single button group. That's why they are into a single line. I hope that makes sense to you. But I have created this button. Now, what if I click on that button? So whenever we want to perform a functionality on a front end, what we do is that we create multiple methods in the controller class. In Salesforce, the controller class is JavaScript, and you can see that I have provided multiple handlers. Uh, Handler is just a name, just to understand, it's just the methods. So if you see this add handler, whenever I'll click on add, it will look at the first element, it will look at the second element, and it will print the result. And that's simple. But I want to see this result in my previous result as well. So what I did is that I have created this previous result empty array. Whenever I'm going to click on any add, divide, multiply, or subtract button, this will save the current result into the previous result array, right? Similarly, we have subtract handler, multiply handler, and division handler. Now, if you look at what the clear history button was doing, so we have this previous result which will hold every result into an array. But we have this shift function. What it does is that it removes the first element from array. So whenever I'm going to click on reset, sorry, let me just check where did I, yeah. Whenever I click on clear history, it is going to use delete history toggle method, and delete history toggle would actually pop the first element out of the array, right? Similarly, we have one more button, which is reset button toggle. So this on click event, what it will do that it will assign those three input and output boxes null values. But JavaScript is a dynamic language and it is a reactive language. So whenever you want to interact between HTML and JavaScript, we use this @track decorator. What it does is that it can change the values which I am providing over here. So for example, we have current result, which is a trackable property over here. We have previous results array, which is shown, that is another trackable property over here. Similarly, we also have values like first number and second number. So these are also trackable properties, because eventually when we are actually resetting the calculator, we want these values to be null. So that's how we do it. And now I want this particular code to be pushed or deployed on my org from Visual Studio Code. What I'll do is that for Mac users, we use Command Shift and P. For Windows users, we use Control Shift plus P. And we use this sfdx command, which is deploy this source to org. And it simply deployed the source, which is JavaScript, HTML, and XML, 3 files. Now let's move back to Salesforce, and lightning record page also I have created. So let's edit this page. And as you know, over here in XML, what I did was I provided 3 targets, which is home page. We were actually watching the simple calculator right now on home page, and record page and app page. Now I want this particular component to be deployed on a record page of opportunity object, right? So what I'll do is that I'll go to the opportunity object, just like this. I'll go on this gear icon and I'll edit page. Once the LWC component is deployed, XML will automatically provide those custom components over here. I'll simply drag and drop it down below over here, and I'll save it. I'll activate it as well, and I want it on sales application. Let's save it. Okay, so now you can see that this particular component is present on a record page as well. That is a record, opportunity record named SF Test 1. And as we provided lightning record page in XML, we can see that it has deployed our custom component on record page as well. So I'll just simply use it again. Right this time. Now, when you know what is going on behind the buttons, so this is again an array. I'll clear history and it will pop first element. I'll clear history again and it will pop the first element. I want to reset the calculator and it will provide null values. Do we have any questions on this? Is it all good?
If anybody has a question, raise the hand. So I can unmute.
Okay, I can see a question in the meeting chat. Can we have to follow steps to create record?
Ayush, somebody is asking, can we have to follow steps to create record?
No, there are no such steps. You can. So, for example, I mentioned that it is a database. So, what is cloud? Cloud is actually a database stored somewhere else. So, at database, we can do four tasks, which is CRUD operation: create, update, delete, and read. Right. So, we can create a record in multiple ways. I just showed you a couple of ways, like creating records through flows, creating records through just a button, and even the backend and front end development can also help us to create records. Yeah. In order to create a record admin by the admin panel, we have to go to the object itself and then create new to create a record. But we can also do one thing. We can simply drop down this arrow and then new opportunity. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions? I will take it as a no then. And let's move ahead with the slide then. So, yeah, we have multiple clouds. We, as a Salesforce, we are working on different products to be, released uh, at customers' request. So, looking to modernize, save time, and reduce costs in your industry, look no further than Salesforce Customer 360. With over a dozen industry specific solutions, we know our customer businesses inside and out. And we are here to help you achieve success. For example, if you're in the healthcare industry, our Health Cloud solution allows you to provide better patient care by having a complete view of your patient's medical history, treatment plans, and more. Whatever your industry, Salesforce Customer 360 has a solution to help you achieve your goals. Yeah. So, are you interested in learning and about Salesforce infrastructure? Let's start with this Hyperforce. It's a platform that ensures trust and scalability, making it possible for companies to become a customer company in today's world. With Hyperforce, you can deploy your customer experience globally with data residency and compliance built in. This means you can expand your business operations and manage your customer data across different regions with ease. Moreover, Hyperforce, this external encryption ecosystem, empowers customers to maintain total control over encryption keys, ensuring compliance with complex privacy and data regulations. So, move on to this. Yeah. So for Salesforce, we offer a customer success ecosystem to support your journey. Our ecosystem includes a team of more than 170,000 Salesforce certified partner experts, access to the one enterprise cloud marketplace, app exchange, and services from both Salesforce and our partners, which will help you build integrations with confidence. Additionally, our success plans will guide you in maximizing your ROI. We know that everyone wants to do more with less. So we are proud to say that our customers report faster time to value, better marketing ROI, lower IT and supports costs, and much more. Let us help you transform your business into a successful. I also have a customer story which I worked for, which is Ford. So I worked for Ford for like 6 months. Ford is a perfect example of a company that uses its customer data to pivot its business model towards direct to consumer, which is D2C. They, utis- they utilize the full suite of customer 360 for sales, service, marketing, and by even financing. By doing so, they have achieved outstanding results. For instance, by targeting ads for their accessories, websites, to customer at specific times within their journey, they have increased revenue by as much as 2.7 into per ad per quarter. Additionally, they have simplified the process of notifying new owners about their status by reducing customer touchpoints by 55%, from 20 touchpoints to 9 touchpoints, and with 99% less coding than they did before. These results show how the right customer data and strategy can help business like Ford become true customer companies. Last but not the least, thank you for your time and attention. We hope this information has been helpful and informative. Remember, as you continue on your journey towards becoming a customer company, utilizing customer data and the three customer 360 can bring significant benefits to your knowledge and learning. Thank you, everyone. Any questions?
So, please, from audience, if you have any questions, please raise your hands. Any questions from the audience? Let me check if you have any question in the chat box. Yes, we have the question.
May I know the cost comparison of other three major cloud service providers in the market? With, sir, I don't deal with the salespeople. I actually work as a technical consultant. So when the prices are decided, then the customer comes towards me. So that's up to them. But yeah, that's in brief. It's actually a subscription-based model for every cloud, and they charge, I guess, per user per month. So, someone wants to join this course, what are the key skills that students should learn?
Okay.
Uh, I would suggest that basic admin, which so Salesforce provides multiple Salesforce certifications as well. So I guess admin certification and platform developer one are sufficient for any student to join Salesforce.
Ajit Kumar, do you have a question? Ajit Kumar has raised the hand.
Yeah,
Sir,
I have.
yes,
I have
sir.
posted my question just now. He have answered about a skill, but I want to add in that question. I was asking about key skill, like what we teach in colleges, like say suppose web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript they will be using. So to be good in Salesforce learning other platform, how much technology they should know. So in part of traditional subject that we teach in universities.
Yeah. Yeah. So uh, what I did was I actually learned. So eventually, coming up to the development, we actually need to know that what Salesforce actually offers. What if Salesforce has already offered that and then we are coding it again? That is not a good practice, right? So eventually, starting should be from the admin panel and the flows, the automations, everything which Salesforce can do without coding uh, can be learned first and which will be covered. I'll just let me just share my once again. Let me find out. Mm,
Hello. So one participant has written a question. I'm just reading. May
yeah,
I know the cost comparison of other three major cloud service provider in the market with Salesforce with respect to infrastructure?
yeah. Like I think I already
Hello.
answered that.
Yes, you have answered that question, that you don't deal in this prices. So I think that's old question. So
Yeah,
yeah, Ayush, I was asking about the skills, so you were showing something.
yeah. Let me just open that link.
Any more questions?
Still he's
So
answering something
yeah,
my previous question. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So to learn Salesforce, again, Trailhead is the best platform to learn Salesforce. We have everything over here, but I would suggest students to go through at least Salesforce Lightning and app building.
Okay.
That is a minimum prerequisite to learn Salesforce.
And
Uh,
Ayush, one last question.
yeah,
Would you suggest that some student they are not willing to learn programming language, but they are good with like
yeah.
technology, but they are not
That's
good
what I
with
would.
programming. So shall we
That's what
suggest
I would.
Salesforce as a career choice for them, like because they can use configuration based development? That's my question.
Yeah. So I just opened this in front of you. This is actually every role which Salesforce industry provides. So we have Salesforce administrator, Salesforce developer, Salesforce consultant, Salesforce architect, designer, business analyst, sales careers, marketing careers, cybersecurity careers, and service careers. We also have the median salary, which is for US accordingly. But if someone is not uh, confident about the coding thing, they can obviously choose Salesforce administrator or Salesforce consultant or designer or business analyst. So there are multiple roles which Salesforce offers for non-coders. But if they want to go into the full stack development or the backend development or the front end development, they are good to go with the Salesforce developer position.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was nice presentation, Ayush. Yeah, thank you.
I hope that answers your
Yeah,
question.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was fully answered.
Thank you.
So we have, do we have any more questions from the audience? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Okay, with this, we'll end up the session. Ayush, I would like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude for your wonderful talk on Salesforce and the technology.
Yeah.
Your insight, knowledge, and enthusiasm were truly inspiring and informative. Your ability to engage the audience to deliver such an captivative talk was truly remarkable. You shared your valuable information and you have conveyed it very clearly and convinced the manner, which made it easy for everyone to understand. Your expertise and passion for the subject matter were evident in every word you spoke. I would like to thank all the participants here. Hope you have an informative session today. May I request you to fill the feedback form that I have posted in the chat. It will hardly take a minute of yours. Looking forward to see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I can share the LinkedIn profile of Ayush Bhargav. You can share. You can get connected with him if you want. If you want to get know something more about the technology, you may get connected with him. Thank you, everyone, once again. May I please ask you all to take a moment and please turn on your camera. We can click a very good picture of today's session with a
Yeah.
very good number of participants. I requesting you all to please turn on your camera for a moment. Thank you, participants. Please turn on your camera. Would like to have a picture with such an eminent speaker we have with us. Karra?
I think the cameras are disabled. Everyone is typing in the chat box.
Uh, they are now enabled. Please kindly check. They are enabled now. Please kindly check. Please turn on your camera for a moment. May I please ask some more participants to turn on the camera? Hmm. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you so much. Please do fill the feedback form before leaving the session. And please do join tomorrow at 3. Thank you, Aayush.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a great day. Stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you.